Well, hello all. You can see me. I'm squinting and trying to get the... I left everything in tabs instead of individual windows. All the different chats that I can read. Let's see. Oh, how did I have these? Oh, geez, I don't need that tall. Sorry that I am ready and not ready all at the same time. How is everyone's holiday season going thus far? Okay, I think I can read all the chats. I need to get something that merges all the chats together. You can see I'm squinting, not wearing my eye patch. The squint is kind of involuntary. I have eye drops and drugs that just make this area very lax, is the best I can say. So, welcome to stream, and I am the Chief Librarian here at Alexandria RPG. Some of you know what we do and who we are, but if you don't, we are a non-profit role-playing game library. And man, do I have to sit down and do our taxes this year. It's been a really interesting and productive year this year. We go around to events, so we share the history of role-playing games. Next year will be a huge event. Huge at events because it's the 50th anniversary of D&D. So, while we're not at events, I will be going to. I tend to go out and game with veterans of PTSD. Trying to get back into gaming with at-risk teens. There's a couple local organizations that I've been chatting with, and hopefully after the new year, my weekends will be again full, gaming with various different groups like at-risk teens and more veterans with PTSD. I think I spend more time talking to people about doing that. I get other veterans to go out and do that. But the more we can do, the better it goes. So, we're going to do our weekly roundup. Once I get through the quick news, I have a few books that I need to share that are new to the library and something really cool. And you guys will all be excited about that. So, let's get into some our weekly roundup. And watch me squint in the corner. Look at that. I'm up in the corner. You can see my squinty face up there. No eye patch today. So eye is getting better. If you don't know, I experienced a detached retina during last month. It's been a whole lot of fun. No, it's really not. I would have rather had my hand smashed and done reconstructive surgery than to get a detached retina fixed. It has been a very aggravating thing, and then early next year I have to go in and get a new lens put in because the lens has gone bad because of everything. Yay! So much fun. So, if at any time I am going over anything and you want to chime in, feel free. I am watching all the chats best I can. I will interact with you as you see things. Remember, there is a little delay, so if I don't respond to you immediately, it doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to you. Okay. So, 'tis the season to buy cool stuff. Level Up Dice has been awesome, and they make these dice for us. So I will put the link in all the different chats. And what they do is every month when they'll total up the amount of purchases, they'll make those and they'll ship them out, and then we get 10%. So it is awesome. We partnered with them because they love what we do. We love that they make awesome high-end dice, but they're at a high medium end price. $50 sounds like a lot for dice, but this is a milled aluminum set of dice. They're gorgeous. The case is all aluminum and magnetic. Absolutely, I mean it's gorgeous. We have the first two, they're prototypes. It was funny because they sent them straight to us, and I saw them at an event, and they asked if I had them so that they could see them, because they didn't even get to see the prototypes. They did all the computer work, sent it off to their shop, and the shop sent them directly to me. So the designers that worked on it actually didn't even get to see it. But we got them in. They are stunning. This is actually a picture of one of the prototypes taken on their counter at an event. So we had fun and set them out and snapped a couple photos. But yeah, they're beautiful, and they're weighted properly. Perfectly weighted at 99.5%. So even with the engraving and design on them, they still roll properly. So that is just a way that you can support the library and get something cool. We're going to work on getting t-shirts. We've got pins and stuff we do at events. We're going to try to share those online here soon. Okay. Enough trying to raise money, because yes, we need to raise money very much badly. Let's see. Okay. I know this is a crowdfunding site. I want to put this into the news end of things, because I want to talk about this in a different way than I talk about the other stuff when I get to crowdfunding. So, a lot of people know Matt Colville. I'm not the biggest fan, but that's just because I'm just not. Some people absolutely love him. Yes, they're at $2.8 million, which people are like, that's awesome. But now I can't find it. This frustrates the ever-living daylights out of me, because I talk to game designers all the time and tell them that they need a product before they go to crowdfunding. And if you read through all this, there's no game. They're not going to start playtesting till the end of next year. They have an idea. The product, they said they're going to get it June of 2025. That's more than a year and a half out. That is so far away. Like, a year and a half is forever out. This is 4th edition revamped, yeah. They also take subtle digs at OSR for... Yeah, so one thing I'll give Matt Colville credit for is he doesn't talk trash about Gary Gygax or a lot of old school authors. But they do take a lot of digs at OSR type stuff. And that's kind of one of my issues I have with him is I don't necessarily think he's great for the industry as a whole. But this whole project is a giant red flag to me, because they don't have a product. They don't have this is there are 16,000 people that I don't think realize they're going to be waiting 18 months 18 months is when the delivery of PDF is. Yeah, yes, he does have a cult following. As in the chat says he has a cult following, and he does. And I don't necessarily get it. The same with Critical Role. I get people love Critical Role. I have a love-hate with him. There's a lot of people that have gotten into role-playing games because of them. There's a lot of people that are RPG followers but not players because of them. But there's also a ton of people that think that that's how you play, and it's not. So, coming back to the project, they've set the delivery of PDFs mid-2025. That is more than 18 months away. There's not a product. This is everything wrong with so many crowdfundings. And it frustrates me that I talk to game designers all the time. We beat up game designers in board games, in video games, in role-playing games, when they go to crowdfunding and they don't have a product yet. And here we have somebody that has that cult following and can just throw anything on and has, in just a couple days, $2.8 million in crowdfunding. Yeah, it doesn't even have a title. It has no title. It's... So, and Lackey says it's to pay the writers to write the product you don't have when you don't have funds. But we beat up every other person that goes to crowdfunding without a product. They don't have a title. They've already said they don't really have all the rules. So if I'm going to beat up, a small designer that's basically doing everything by themselves, that doesn't have the rules all done, I can't not do the same thing. I guarantee he's got the funds to pay writers to at least get them to a title, more of a core product than, hey, we'll have this done in 18 months. And if they're going to rush, to me, 18 months for as big as they're trying to say this product is going to be, that's a rushed product. It's the new Critical Role game that just hit. It's funny because Critical Role fans are loving it, but everybody I know that is, in RPGs that's, not into the Critical Role end of things is like, yeah, Candelera Obscura. They're like, it's missing giant chunks of a game. And this, I just, it frustrates me that someone can use their fandom to, get a giant backing when we'd even beat up, any other company. If Artel Saurian came to market or Palladium, if they came to market with this vague of a product, we'd be like, hey, what are you doing? So it just frustrates me. This is, we have weird exceptions within the industry. That's why I wanted to talk about this one outside of the crowdfunding stuff, because I personally can't tell anybody to back this because there is no product. They have mock-ups of a collector's edition that they're going, oh, look at this collector's edition cover. And it's like, okay. Yeah. In chat, all the rabbit followers will purchase it and never run it or play it. And sadly, that will happen with a lot of his followers, the Critical Role followers. They'll buy the stuff and they kind of said, that's why I have okay, you can come up, buddy. Ugh. Please don't hit me in the face with your giant tail. Cat decided he had to be up here. That's why I said I have a love-hate with Critical Role. I know I've met tons of people over the last few years that have gotten actually into role-playing, And it's funny because a lot of the people that have gotten in and started playing role playing have petered off the watching of that type of stuff. But the people that like come by the library, that look through books, that are huge fans, tend to not play as much. So they'll purchase the stuff, they'll consume the content, and I'm okay with that because they're creating content. It is entertainment, and just sadly frustrated that a non-project is getting $2.8 million and they have nothing. So we'll move on. Is it fair to beat up small designers who can't produce their book because they can't quit their day job, develop it in full unless they have the backing of something? So yes, it is fair, because how many games have we watched that have not been ready to go and gone to crowdfunding and then never get to the people because they think they're, I can do this in 6 months, and they don't know how much time they have left. And then they get the funds, they spend the funds, and now they can't afford to ship the books. Beating them up is, I guess, kind of a wrong way to put it. When I talk to, because I get emailed all the time to look over stuff, and I've looked over tons and tons of projects, and we'll cover one that's up on Kickstarter right now. It ends in a couple days. That they had an 80% product. They asked me, what changes I would make, or what I liked or didn't like, and I pointed out some things. They made some changes based on that, and then their big push now is to get a cat in the camera. Their big push with it is to the core product is finished. It's now art, and they're going to use the funds to get the book published, do art, and do the final bits and pieces. Now, if you have, so say with this RPG, they have all the core rules done, but they're upfront with, they have the core rules done, and they're looking at hiring writers to finish building out the world and hire artists. I would be more okay with that, but they're not even going to start playtesting until this time till fourth quarter 2024. So they have a year of rules writing to do, and I don't think that is. I don't think that, because they don't have a product at this point. So going to Kickstarter to say, hey, I have an idea, and I haven't done, it's like, I want to build an airplane, but I haven't done anything to figure out, I don't understand lift coefficients and stuff like that. I don't understand or drag coefficients and lift and weight ratios. I don't understand how much thrust I'm going to need, how big of a wing surface I'm going to need. But yeah, I want to build an airplane. That's where they're at. They want to build an airplane, but they don't know how big of a wing or an engine. They don't know how many passengers are going to be in it. They don't know what kind of control surfaces they're going to use. So this is exactly what I tell small game designers not to do. And here we see a giant campaign that's killing it, and it's giving the wrong impression to all those small and medium and small game designers out there. So, okay, I think I have beaten this horse. Let's move on. Okay, Steve Jackson Games, they just released their release schedule for next year, so I think this is pretty cool. Then on there, towards the bottom, they have a boatload of. So they've got a fantasy trip thing on Kickstarter right now. They've got another one scheduled December next year, but they've also sorry, I don't want to get smacked in the face by my cat and his giant tail, and he has decided he has to be up here. So the Steve Jackson Games has tons of GURPS for 2024, and they're converting. They're slowly bringing stuff, their older lineup or their current lineup, into PDFs and the like. So if you like GURPS or you like Steve Jackson Games, this will be, this is a good place to go. I'm actually excited for Gru the game. I'm a giant fan of Gru the Wanderer, but I'm looking forward to this Lovecraft stuff. I want to check this out. And then, of course, more GURP stuff is always good. And more Fantasy Trip. I think this is the one that's on Kickstarter right now. Let's see. Chaosium releases Alone Against the Static in hardcover, a solo Call of Cthulhu adventure. I'm intrigued by this. I love that some of these more established studios, Chaos and more established, like one of the original RPG companies, been around since the 70s. I love that they're putting out a solo RPG in one of their biggest IPs they have. So I'm excited. If you like Call of Cthulhu and you want to check out a cool setting in hardcover, so I don't know how good Alone in the Static is, Alone Against the Static is, but Chaosium has been doing Call of Cthulhu for years. I really like the game, and I'm sure that this will be also good. Let's see, we're going to look through some cool free stuff. So Christmas Goons for Tunnel Goons. So if you have Tunnel Goons, or if you want to pick up Tunnel Goons and then play this is free, and you can help save Christmas. Just a fun little quick, easy pickup game, because during the holiday season, sometimes our groups don't always match up. We've got people going every which way. It is the season where people travel a lot. Let's see. A Dozen Sugary Rumors, also free. So this is just a cool little setting, and it's free in PDF. It's system agnostic, so you can read through this and adapt it to pretty much any system you want. And another fun holiday-themed RPG setting. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I got a big headache at the moment. So if I have lots of ums and ahs or pauses, it's probably because my eye is overloading this side of my brain. DCC Day 2023 Adventure Pack. So, do you like Dungeon Crawl Classics? We here at the library do. We've played it a bunch in the past. So, this contains 2 adventures for first and second level characters, and I have looked through this. It is really cool. It's a great way to get a lot of people going. Let's see. The Grey Grimoire. So this is free, and this is has a bunch of cool stuff that is very Greyhawk oriented. Let's see. There we go. Hearts and Bolts RPG. This one just made me giggle. So it's a cyberpunk dating game. The year is 2008. Soul City, a cold artificial metropolis plagued by the neon advertisements in every corner. Evil corporations reign supreme, and the people are disconnected, lonely, and desperate for companionship. Hey, sounds like today. I thought this was a really cute little RPG that just could be, again, well, it's free, but it's a, pay what you want. And I thought this could be a whole lot of fun for people to pick up and just try out. It's a fun little 2-player RPG. So I'm loving the 2-player RPGs because during COVID, a lot of people discovered their significant others were at least interested in trying to play. And sometimes, especially during COVID, when you couldn't go places, it's something, a nice little 2-player game is great to pass the time and just have some fun. Reconnect. Or escape. You are a cat and you suck. This is another pay what you want. And the name of this just cracked me up. Is a fail-forward, diceless, one-page RPG for 2 to 4 players and a GM. Inhabit one of the 4 drives: Hunt, Chunk, Furry, or Snoop. It's a rock, paper, scissor driven one-page RPG about being a cat. And if you couldn't tell, I like cats. And I thought it was adorable. Okay, we are going to go to the stuff we have gotten recently. So I forgot to share these last week. They came in right before we went live, and I totally forgot. So Vast Grim expanded their system, and we got and this was a Kickstarter, but they're available now through Vast Grim's website. So you got Blood Altar, Adventures, and expanded content. Spice Cruisers, Starship Creation, Combat, and additional locations. And then Space Raiders, Classes, Factions, and Hexcrawl Adventures. So, Vast Grim is a sci-fi Mork board game. And the Vast Grim, if you've ever watched The Neverending Story, it's the darkness. The Vast Grim is eating the universe, and you're playing the last handful of humans that are left and trying to live and survive in the last little bit of the universe. Very, very cool idea. The gentleman that put everything together initially, he's a sculptor. So there's lots of so some of the stuff in it is like sculpts and models that he's taken pictures of. Very creative. He's hired a lot of really cool artists that he knows to help build out the universe, and really, I think he's done such a cool job with this. Let's see. This came in with another box of stuff that I showed last week. So this is for D20. It's the Sword and Sorcery City of Brass box set, which I played this back in the day with other players. Now, the cool thing is, it's still sealed. The sucky thing is, it's still sealed. So this came out in 2007. And this was right as I was moving to the Seattle area. And a group I was playing with, I GM'd, and somebody had just bought this. And I played through it, and I remember this being very cool. So I'm going to see if I can find somebody that might want the sealed version, and see if I can trade for an unopened version. If not, then we'll just pop this open. And this, in 2007, was $70, but it is hefty. There's a lot to it. Okay. If you want to see, so something else we started off me complaining about something that was in crowdfunding. I get frustrated when people release limited editions and all it is a different cover. So if you're going to do a different cover for your crowdfunding, just do crowdfunding exclusive cover or something like that. If it's just going to be different cover art. But don't call it a limited edition, because then the book is all you've done is swapped covers. You need to do a little more, and I'm going to show you. Here's how you do a little more. The Zone. So this was last year. I think they were 9 months total in the making, I think. So maybe it was the beginning of the year. Okay, so this is a stout case. If you know anything about Pelican style cases, there's a company out of Canada that makes yellow cases like this, and they're called Canuck. They're awesome cases. So this is a very nice, breathable, weather sealed case. Oh, and it has cutout foam for everything that's in it. The upper pieces, so if you've ever played 10 Candles, this has something similar to that. So when they originally pitched it, they were just going to put in little glow sticks. And as it increased, so has a little flashlight on top, blinks, and turns into, it's a electronic glow stick. They stay on for about a half an hour. And you use in the game system, it is very similar to the way 10 Candles works. But you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only have 6 chances before all your lights go out. And then I love that you'll see the tagline of the game. So came with some cool stickers based on the game. And then the box set. So I don't know if it has different cover art or anything for this box set. I think the box set is pretty much the same, but as the standard edition. But comes with the case, the awesome glow sticks, and so it's The Zone, surreal play-to-lose horror RPG. I love the play to lose. There's a little thank you for backing on Kickstarter and information on the glow sticks. If you have any problems with them, it tells you what kind of batteries. There's your core rules, and then your play flow. The Book of Mutation. The Book of Twists. Twist again. Then there are cards. So you've got scene cards. So encounter. The environment triggers a character's phobia. Whose phobia does this environment trigger? How does this place manifest your phobia in a way that's hard to escape? Character. Someone tries to break away on their own. What can one of you only do if you're alone? Why would the others not let you do that? There's fate cards. Not so easy cards. Mutation. Yes, and the zone mutates you, granting you a powerful gift the others simply just don't understand. Yes, and the zone helps you remember something that puts your obsession in a new light. What is it? Neat. Then these are these are like shiny foily character cards. Like, you can't really see how awesome they are on screen, on camera. Like, they are really cool. I like, really, this is the scientist. Understand and explain the zone. Then you get, there's like, the detective. Again, really tough to see on the camera. And then you get down to, then you get your motivations and obsessions. So, this is your motivation, integrity. But your obsession is you remember who you used to be. Find your old self and the hunger that you got here, and the hunger that you got here. And then you can get a phobia too. What if the haters are right? And then this is a deck for the GM. And there's locations, and these are basically all like locations and little in-game notes. Really cool paths, but also cool and foily. So this version of it, all the foily stuff got foilified. So I want to play this, and if we play it on stream, we'll have to play in person so that we can control lighting, and then we can use all the cool bits that are in the box. I mean, I can't wait to take this. I mean, how cool is this going to look sitting on a table? Because you're going to get people like, what is that? See, if you're a company that makes cool games, just send us your coolest version, because this box set sitting out on the table, when people come through the library, they're going to ask more questions about this than they are about any other RPG that's going to be sitting out. The cool stuff. I love putting the cool limited stuff out because it's great at catching our ooh shiny. And as someone that is a full-on, 100% ooh shiny squirrel, like my squirrels are in the shiniest of elven chainmail, and they constantly catch my attention out of the corner of my eye. So I understand the nature of ooh shiny and how we can use it. I mean, this big yellow case sitting on a table. When you come into a library and you're like, oh, what's in the box? What's in the box? You're going to go full on Brad Pitt asking what's in the box. And with every right, what's in the box is important. Okay, let's go to... Okay, at this time, if you can't not back stuff on Kickstarter or other crowdfunding sites, now's a good time to bow out. That's why we do the news and the new stuff, and then we go to the crowdfunding stuff. We have people in the library and viewers that know that they will have trouble not backing stuff as we go through. I struggle not backing more stuff. I back way too much. Okay, $1 one shot. Brian Snotty last year did 99-cent one shots. It was $5 back, and they had five different one shots, and you could get some cool art and stuff, original art. So I like that other people are starting to do this. So $1 for a 15-page adventure. Get ready for the Tomb of the Undead King. Wow, they're doing pretty good. They've got almost 1,000 backers. 14 hours left. So, nice little 5e. Yeah, 5e campaign. So $1. And is there... So, they're all PDFs. So $1 gets you Wraithlord, 20 gets you the Wraithlord and Gizcog's Wandering Emporium, and then you can go to $30 and you can get the get that one, get the Tomb of the Undead King and Azendor's Vault of Tragic Treasure, or if you go to 45, you get all three. So I like it when people have the other the other levels with their other products. It's a good idea. Okay, so I was talking earlier. This was I showed this one last week. So this is from Salty Games. Made the game New Edo. We got a copy. Really do like it. He sent this to me about 2 weeks before it went live, and has a good chunk of the art already done for it, and all 77 of the stories were ready. And this isn't just for the cool thing with this is they work great in New Edo, and all the NPCs, stat lines, and stuff like that is for New Edo, but it's easy to adapt this to any game, especially if it is like cyberpunk, or especially cyberpunk stuff, because New Edo is really cool. It's cyberpunk-esque, but all the cool Japanese folklore and history is coming back. That's why it's no longer Tokyo, it's New Edo. And I even gave a quote that he tossed in here, because I read through it. I read all 77 of them. I gave some ideas how to tweak a couple, name the weapons in them. A couple of them I was like, hey, this would be awesome if it had like a MacGuffin that drove this little story bit, because it's a cool story, but it needs something more. And give a couple like wording choices, and said, I love this type of supplement. This is the type of supplement I love to get in the hands of GMs of all levels, and I do. I absolutely love to get something like this into GMs' hands so that they can take these story hooks and just take them whatever direction you want. Sometimes all you're missing is that little bit to get you going. So I love getting things like this into the hands of GMs of all levels. I don't care whether you've been playing games for ages, or you're just a brand new GM, or looking at breaking into being a GM. These will be stuff like this is awesome for getting those creative juices flowing, because you can take this little tidbit, this little 1 or 2 paragraph idea, and run with it. So I said this will get you going not on just 77 ventures, but a million more. As I read through it, I thought of all kinds of new games to run through the library, and I did. There's a couple of bits in here that I am absolutely going to be running in future games. There's some really, really just fun little bits that you're like, ooh. It was great, because I was reading through and just I enjoyed. I just really enjoyed a bunch of the little ideas that were in there. So I love stuff like this. Since we've been doing these shows on Twitch and YouTube and the like, I've been pointing out the DM helper items, whether they be a pack of cards, a book like this. They're awesome because it's easy to get burnt out as a GM. Especially you have YouTube channels that'll be like, oh, DM burnout's not a real thing, and then they'll talk about how they spend hours and hours and hours developing an entire world and every level of a dungeon, and then then you see a month later they talk about how they're now experiencing DM burnout. Don't over prepare, but always have tools that can help you get going. You never want to get too far ahead of your players, because if you do, and they never go towards it. You've spent countless hours making, you know, okay, we've got to get to city A to city B, and I've planned all the trails. Oh, you guys want to go left? I haven't planned left. I've planned right, and I've got all this falling down right. Well, you just have to pick up something like this and get a little plot hook, get a little idea to go down that left alleyway that they all have, like, well, that's the direction we got to go. You know, I don't know how many times as a player I've, you know, the GM says, okay, big giant monster, and then they're trying to direct us there, and then they mention offhand something else, and then go, oh, well, that sounds actually really cool. And everybody's like, yeah, that actually does sound really cool. And then all of a sudden, GM's going, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? Keeping little things like this in your back pocket, man, it'll help you out so much. Get you out of a lot of really bad situations that you will always find yourself in as a GM. Trust me, I have found myself in bazillions of crazy, like, well, didn't see that coming. If you ever played in the Star Wars one-shot that I do at events, it always starts out the same. Never has ended the same. There's been some crazy ones, and there's been some that, like, I had one, you know, planned for 4 hours, and in 2 hours, they just played everything very straight, and really, it was funny because their dice were totally in their favor. It was like, I was amazed, and then at the end of it, all the players were like, oh, that was so much fun, and I was like, you guys did it in 2 hours of, you know, I wasn't necessarily ready to take them on a longer drive, because I was like, man, if we go any further, we gotta you know, dive down a 6 or 8 hour game. I was like, oh, but most of the time I have little things like this that I have read through over the years, so I typically have something squirreled away in some crazy shiny part of my brain that says, ooh, I got an idea. So I definitely suggest backing stuff like this. Got 3 days to go. $6 gets you the PDF. $18 gets you the 77 stories plus the PDF of New Edo. Is that right? Yeah. Only $14 US. Wow. That's a really, because the PDF, the New Edo book is big. It's like over 300 pages. Oh, look, hey, if I read, 308. Let's see. $22 gets you the soft cover plus the PDF. $35 gets you the Founders Edition of this. And it's cool because the Founders Edition looks just like the Founders Edition of New Edo. And then $73 gets you the PDFs of both, the hardcover of the of both, and he's got is this the Kitchen Table Robot Games, and I gotta get a hold of him and be like, hey, I don't have this. And then you can get the Table Talk of edition, which I love that this is a great thing to offer. So $220, and it's like, that sounds horrible, but that gets you 4 copies of the physical rulebook, a copy of the 77 stories for the GM, and then as many PDF licenses as you need, plus a 20 card a 20 card set for your of New Edo art cards, which the art in this is gorgeous. So this is really cool because $220. Again, it sounds like a lot, but you're getting 4 cool core rule books. So as you play, you have 4 books to hand out at the table, and oh man, I love having extra books at the table. And then $1,000, but this is I think this was no, this one hasn't been. You get all the books. You're fun, and this is just I love this because it's like you can choose how or if you'll be recognized in the book and whether you want to impact the balance or change the game. So he's giving you a chance to add, like, it's $736. Sounds crazy, but it is a way that if you have the funds, you can back a product. All the early birds are gone. Let's see, what else we have? Fantasy Trip, Bestiary, and Foes number 2. Foes 2 STL miniatures. So this is the this is what I was talking about earlier. So the Fantasy Trip Bestiary is a hardcover book with nearly 200 pages of creatures, from giant antlions to treacherous wyverns. Each listing includes basic stats, descriptions of their appearance and behavior, and typical habitat. And this is for Fantasy Trip. And then this gets you, 192 page hardcover book, rules and lore for 200 creatures, environment tables, treasure tables that show what loot each creature may contribute to your coffers, 138 double-sized 3.5 by 5 inch cards. I love this. Condensed rules for easy reference, colored environment tabs help customize encounters. So the little color tabs tell you what environments that they'll be in. Then 250 high-quality double-sided die cut counters. So these are cardboard things you can put out onto the table. So size range from tiny half-inch critters to 14 mega hex behemoths. Reverse size shows the defeated creature to help track the carnage after combat concludes. And then here from samples from the Bestiary with photos and corresponding to the minis from Foes 2. So there's wolf minis, giant rat minis, ghouls, there's just all kinds of stuff. So, $1 gets you the Pledge Manor access and the melee, so the basic fighting rules for Fantasy Trip. That's not bad to just jump into the basic rules. $20 gets you the Foes 2 STL files, the Fantasy Trip melee PDF, and stretch goals. $25 gets you the Bestiary in PDF and the melee book. $40 gets you Foes STL, Foes 2 STL, the Fantasy Trip melee, and stretch goals. $80 gets you the Fantasy Trip book, the Bestiary in PDF, and the melee in PDF. $100 gets you all of that plus the Foes 2 STLs. They have so many different tiers. $120 Bestiary in hardback, the PDF, the Fantasy Trip in Labyrinth hardcover, Fantasy Trip melee, and the Fantasy Trip Wizard rules box. No minis. $200 gets you the Foes 2 STL, the Fantasy Trip Bestiary, the Legacy edition. So that's like all the core stuff, and then some PDFs. Then, let's see. $200 gets you the Foes 2 STL, Bestiary, the Legacy edition, that's all the core stuff, and all the unlocked stretch goals. Whew. So much stuff. There's so many different minis, and there's cool bases that work with the hex system. Let's see. I really like Steve Jackson games. Steve Jackson's a good guy, and they've put out some great stuff over the years. This is the Legacy edition. So you end up with the Fantasy Trip mega hexes, and the GM screen, Tolkiener's Lair, Death Crest, but all kinds of stuff. Holy cow. That's a lot of stuff. That's way more stuff than there's more stuff here than what it sounds like. Let's see. And I missed this one last week. This only has a week to go, a little over a week to go. So, the Electric State role-playing game, a road trip on the verge of reality in visual artist and author Simon, Swedish last name, vision of an apocalyptic alternate 90s. So, almost 300,000, 4,200 backers. That's the yeah. So, we all know so this is coming from Free League, and Free League does some amazing stuff. And this is just a really neat looking game. Electric State role-playing game is a tabletop RPG based on the art book, The Electric State, by acclaimed visual artist and author. So he went and did all this art, and then they've made an RPG. Soon to be adapted into a major motion picture by the Russo brothers. Starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. So, and it uses the Year Zero engine that Free League uses on a ton of stuff, and I think it's just going to be really cool. I think this is just I think this is a different, definitely different than Free League. Is Tales from the I was like Tales from the Hood. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. So it's the same artist as the Tales from the Loop, but it's a different. So Tales from the Loop was in the 80s, and then you've got when those kids grow up. But this is set in the late 90s, in a post-apocalyptic, but it's not the same world as Tales from the Loop. Following the discovery of jeez, my brain is not letting me say any crazy words today. In the late 60s, technology derived from our own world. It is now the year 1997, and the world is on the verge of apocalypse. U.S., ravaged by the Second Civil War, has split into federations. In Pacifica, formerly California, the ever-present Centric Corporation pushes the neurotic technology to the population via cheap headsets. If life was somehow normal before, it isn't anymore. So the art style, I mean, if you love Tales from the Loop, you're definitely going to love the art style from this. And I've looked through this Kickstarter just art-wise probably about 20 times because the art is really neat. And it's also kind of creepy at the same time. Ooh, pardon me. And again, Free League, so we know that it's going to be a good product. Endeavor, universal role-playing game. I do like every time people keep trying to do universal role-playing games. We've talked to a few people that have done them on stream a few times, and they're neat ideas. I like to see where people go with them, and especially if they have a good core set of rules that allow other people to use them, because it's never good if you're just going to release a set of rules and go, I don't want anybody else to use them. So, first created and 2 backed. So, looking through this, they have all their core mechanics ready to go. They do have art, and I'm intrigued because, like I said, I like seeing generic rules that people can use. So $15 gets you a digital copy. $20 gets you digital copy plus name credit. $30 gets you a physical copy. $35 gets you the physical digital bundle. I hate it when people do the physical, then a physical digital. At least, so it's $15 for the digital, because some people will do, oh, it's $30 for the physical and $15 for the digital. The bundle for both is $45, and it's like, well, at least he's only doing it for $5 more. Let's see, physical plus name credit is $40. Bundle plus name credit is $45, and that's it. So he wasn't looking for a giant sum. He's past it. He still has 19 days to go. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to reach out and see if we can chat. I'm trying to actually get everything set up so that we can start chatting, start all our weekly chats with designers and industry people in mid-January, and really start going from there. Actually set up a calendar and get things squared away so people can start speaking through us again. Let's see. Hyperweapon. A dart blaster infused rules light tabletop RPG. Tell me that didn't pique your interest. So 35 hours to go. They're past their thing, but it was like, dart blaster, it's a Nerf RPG. I want to know more. 6 graded, 14 backed. So Rookie Jet Studio. Let's see. Hyperweapon is a rules light tabletop RPG that combines the excitement of dart blasters with a vibrant and immersive gaming experience created by you and your friends. It's made me think of the old Steve Jackson games Gotcha that came out in the 80s, early 80s. Was it? Well, it wasn't called Gotcha. I think it was Assassin, and then there was a movie that was called Gotcha that basically used that game as their basis for look up the movie Gotcha. And then there was a little paint pellet gun that came out that I remember, and this little paint pellet sucked, because by the time I got it, it was like a failed toy, and all the little paint discs were dry. Let's see. Set in a world threatened by colossal kaiju also has me peak. Players take on the roles of skilled hunters tasked with defending humanity. These hunters utilize dart blasters as their primary weapons in epic battles against these gigantic foes. Players will embark on a journey through ancient ruins, navigate diverse landscapes, interact with all kinds of people, and ultimately face off against towering kaiju threats. The game places a strong emphasis on collaborative storytelling and world building, allowing both players and game master to contribute to the creation of the game's settings, factions, cultures, and lore. So, I still want to know more about this game, because it comes with targets. You just have to provide the blasters. And I may or may not own a lot of Nerf guns. And with 3D printing, you can print your own guns now. You can order little kits to do that give you all the springs and the little rings, and it's like Nerf is way cooler now than I ever remember. So $10 gets you a PDF copy, along with character sheets and the target board files. Targets. It's an RPG with targets. Tell me you do not want to. I have to play this at a convention. I'm gonna get a hold of these guys and see if I can get this for the library so that I can bust out a boatload of Nerf guns for like Emerald City Comic Con. $20 for me. Receive a print-on-demand code for a soft cover of Hyperweapon along with a PDF copy and all this stuff. Kaiju Hunter. Receive a print-on-demand copy for the limited edition hardcover of Hyperweapon and the PDF copy. So their limited edition, their Kickstarter exclusive cover is only $30. Complete bundle 40. Receive a print-on-demand code for the limited edition hardcover, another print-on-demand code for the standard cover, and 2 PDF copies of it. And early bird limited, all gone. So, yeah, I definitely got to get a hold of this Rookie Jet Studio and be like, okay. And they're in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. So if we go to Origins, definitely have to get a hold of this team and be like, hey, you got to come in and run your Nerf-based role-playing game. Tell me that's not such a silly idea. I'm stoked. I'll just have to make sure that people only use the Nerf guns that we bring, so nobody's bringing like crazy overcharged nerves. Ooh, ad break. So we're going to patiently wait for a moment while Twitch plays an ad for everyone that's not watching on YouTube or Rumble. And ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Count with me. Okay. So we're on to Humble Bundle has 3 cool RPG style bundles. So solo RPG library, $18 gets you 43 items. This was around last week. It has 4 days left. So Alone in the Dark, OSR solo stuff. There's 43. So I was saying that I love solo RPGs. Stuff like that. This is so good for if you just got a little downtime, or you just kind of need to escape for a little bit, or you want to get creative. Stuff like this is wonderful ways to get the juices flowing to create, a larger campaign for a game. You're like, I just don't know where to go, and then you sit down and you kind of throw one of these solos together. And as you take notes, you're like, oh, man, hey, I can do this or this. All of a sudden, you're thinking about other ways to play. So, and there's sci-fi, there's fantasy, there's horror, futuristic, there's modern. I mean, there's just so many different things in here. Sword and Sandal. Just tons of World War II. And as you look through, there's just tons and tons of stuff. So, I 100% think this is absolutely worth it. You throw $18 to them, and you get a boatload of little solo RPGs to keep you busy. Pathfinder. And if you've not gotten into Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or you've been interested, $25 gets you in. So this is a bunch of Age of Ashes. Age of Ashes 4, 5, and 6. I think there might be more. Age of Ashes, the pawn. So you can print out and have a little pawn. The Advanced Player's Guide, the Game Master's Guide, the Bestiary 3, Crown of the Kobold King, some maps to print out, Lost Omen Legends, Lost Omen Monsters of Myth, Cult of Cinders, 2 of 6, 3 of 6. There's the core rulebook, the basic Bestiary number 2, Lost Omens World Guide, Lost Omens Character Guide, Mark of the Mantis, 2nd edition beginner box set. So this is where if you've got other people you want to get started playing, this is going to have all the PDF info to push out. Hell Knight Hill, 1 of 6, Age of Ashes Player's Guide, Fall of Plaguestone, and the Fall of Plaguestone flip map. Oh. So that's a lot of stuff for Pathfinder. It's all the core stuff that you need, and tons of extras. Get you going, get you excited, and hopefully get some more people sitting at your table. Then we've got the 5th edition Mega Bundle. So $25 for 74 PDFs. Tome of Beasts 3. Necropolis, we've got this in the library. Critical Roles. Tome of Heroes, Splinters of Faith. So, Splinters of Faith, Creature Tracker, Faith Location Wizard, your character sheet, Game Master's Journal, Map Book, the Necropolis VTT Maps and Token. This is awesome. GM Screen, Dwarven Fiasco, Lake of Dust. I mean, there's just so much stuff. Most of it's from Kobold Press, and there's so much good stuff in here. So if you're, frustrated with what you're doing and you want to go a different direction, you don't like what you like 5e, but you don't necessarily like the direction that the 5e supplements from WotC have been coming out. Well, beware of the Yule Cat. Here's a Christmas one. This is from Frog God. Love Frog God games. There's so much cool stuff in here. So, City of Cats is cool. I don't know Dungeon Tables. Lots of cool stuff. I mean, I'm still scrolling. Playing one-on-one. So another 2-player game, so you can GM and run people through little, individual dungeon crawls. I've actually read through this one. This is actually really good. The Zoo Mafia. I don't know anything about Zoo Mafia, but if you're interested, $25 gets you 74 PDFs from a variety of companies that all have donated stuff to the library. All really cool stuff. I've read through a bunch of these. There's some really cool stuff in here, and if you, especially if you want to, broaden your horizon past what WotC gives you for 5e, this is a good place to start at not a huge price. Okay, our last page. Let's see. Let me refresh this, make sure. Okay. The Travelers. This has Travelers Mercenaries. Let's go with the Mongoose Travelers page first. So 28 days. Mongoose Traveler. $19 gets your foot in the door. The Mongoose Traveler 2E starter set. So Travelers way more than on second edition, but since Mongoose has been doing it, it's the second edition of Mongoose's version of Traveler. And I'm glad that companies, gotten Traveler and still producing it, because Traveler is the oldest sci-fi RPG. So it came out in 77. I think it was the first sci-fi RPG. Came out like 6 months before Star Wars did. So they were doing sci-fi before sci-fi got cool again. Mongoose, so you get the starter set, Traveler Companion, the Central Supply Catalog, updated for 2023. And then, if you go up to $29.21, you get all that, plus the High Guard update, the Traveler Vehicle Handbook 2nd edition, 6 Traveler 2E referee briefings, Traveler 2E referee screen. So it's a decent amount of core Traveler stuff to get you going. Then they've got the Traveler Mercenaries. So $13 gets you Mongoose Traveler Mercenary 2E. So this is I don't know if this is totally standalone. I think it might be standalone-ish. Mercenaries of Charted Space, Traveler Field Catalog. Then, if you go up to $26.60, you get all that, plus the Specialist Forces, the Soleimani Front, and 3 Traveler Mercenary Adventures, Valerian Hoop, Bug Hunt, and Must Travel Need Guns. Love the names. Let's see. Sign nominee rule books. So $13. You get Stars Without Number Revised Deluxe, Other Dust, Spears of Dawn, Cities Without Number, the free edition. And then if you go up to $26.83, you get all those plus Worlds Without Number Deluxe, Wolves of the God, and Scarlet Heroes. Oh, plus Silent Legions, a Lovecraftian sandbox role-playing from the designers of Stars Without Number. And a lot of people have talked very highly about Stars Without Number. I have not played it, so I can't. I have looked through the one he released after Stars Without Number. Was it Worlds Without Number? Something else without number. And I do recall that it looked really cool. Let's see. Dungeon Fantasy. So, $18. Get you. Wow. The Dungeon Fantasy powered by GURPS. Then Dungeon Fantasy Companion. Traps, magic items, and Against the Ratmen. So. And then Dungeon Fantasy GM Screen. And the Dungeon Planner. Dungeon Fantasy, powered by GURPS. So that if you go up to $38.22, you get all that. Ow, don't bite. My cat loves to just randomly bite me while I'm petting him. So you get all that stuff, plus Dungeon Fantasy Companions 2 and 3, new enemies, new loot, and revived pyramid articles. Dungeon Fantasy Magic Items 1 and 2, arcane assistance at your fingertips. Dungeon Fantasy Monsters 2, Dungeon Fantasy Just Got More Dangerous. And if you don't know, GURPS stands for the Generic Universal Role-Playing System. GURPS is on 4th edition and has been putting out some really cool stuff through Steve Jackson Games over the years. I really do have a soft spot for GURPS. I think it's a pretty cool system. Not in my top... I think it's just outside of my top 5. And that's like RPGs of all time. It's definitely in my top 10. I really do enjoy it. It can get weedsy a little because it is a generic system and there's a lot of crazy stuff made for it. So be ready for some craziness to ensue at times. Let's see. Sly Flourish. So $6 gets you Sly Flourish's DM tips, The Lazy Dungeon Master, and The Return of the Lazy DM plus workbook. I've heard great things about these books. I have not read them. I probably need to, because I am a lazy GM. But if you for $20.01, you get all that. Plus, you get the Runes of Grendelroot for 5e, the Fantastic Lairs 23 boss battles, almost 24 lair encounters for level 1 through 20, also 5e. I believe, and Sly Flourish's Fantastic Adventures, 10 short adventures for the lazy DM. Plus, Sly Flourish's Fantastic Location. It's a monster manual, except for locations. I love that. And this has 7 days left, so it'll be got another week. Let's see. Shadowrun 3rd Edition. I love that there's the 1998 3rd Edition of the Tabletop Cyberpunk Fantasy Role-Playing Game. So $25 gets you the core book, your first run, so 3 adventures to help you get going, the Shadowrun Companion 3rd Edition, been there, run that, Man and Machine, Cyberware, so upgrade your characters, the Canon Companion, so stuff that goes bang for your characters, Magic in the Shadows, so it's a cyberpunk game, but it's got magic. Matrix, so for all the people that want to hack stuff. Riggers, for the people that want to hack vehicles specifically. Pardon me. State of the Art, 2063 and 2064. This is various gear and stuff that you can add on. Character Dossier, so this is your data sheet. And more data than your rap sheet. So this is your extended character sheet, and the GM screen plus critters. Then, if you want to go, if you go up to $43, you get all that plus Sprawl Survival Guide, New Seattle, Shadows of North America, Shadows of Asia, Paranormal Animals of Europe. That's actually a really awesome book. Azatlan, actually a really cool book as well. Corporate Shadow Files, Corporate Download. I love the dragon. There's a couple dragons that run giant corporations in the game. Mr. Johnson's Little Black Book. Loose Alliances. 5 Shadowrun 3E Adventures. Brain Scan, Corporate Punishment. Renraku Shutdown, Systems Failure, and Year of the Comet. None of those ones ring a bell to me, but it's been quite a while since I've run 3rd edition Shadowrun. Some people absolutely love the 3rd edition. 1st edition was horrible. 2nd edition was mildly better. 3rd edition was definitely better than those. And then I never played 4th, and I played a little 5th edition, and I haven't played 6th. What's it called? 6th Age, the newest edition. But 30 does have a lot of people that really do like it. And this has 15 days left. Let's see. Blades in the Dark 2. New Blades card decks and Forged in the Dark tabletop role-playing game ebooks. So $15 gets you Blades in the Dark. 4 Blades in the Dark decks, characters, crews, deals, factions and locations, and Heist in the Dark. Plan heists on the fly, and that's always an awesome thing to have. Then if you go up to $30.10, you get all of that, plus Court of the Blades, Scandal, Forged in the Dark, includes a companion zine and community zine. Mountain Home, a great way to set up your dwarven fortress. A Torch in the Dark, a single-player forged RPG of righteous battle against the undead. And Cosmosaurus! I love this one. Dinosaurs protecting the galaxy from evil. That one makes me laugh. And then the last one is we have the Cornucopia 2023. It has 2 days left. I got a notification somewhere, but I don't know what it is. $15. So, Agents of Concordia, Apollo 47 Technical Handbook, Pretending to be an Astronaut while nothing exciting is happening. I really want to read through that. Casting the Runes, The Spectaculars, Creating Your Own Superheroic Campaign World Superfast. Then, if you go up to $30.39 or more, you get all those, plus Into the Odd, which is put out by Free League. We got a physical copy just before it went actually out to everybody, and everybody that's checked it out of the library has loved this thus far. Outgunned, this just completed on Kickstarter a couple months ago. The digital books have gone out, but the physical books haven't. Two Little Mice is an Italian company that put out Broken Compass, and Broken Compass they have since sold to Simon. But Outgun uses the same core system as Broken Compass, and it is actually a really cool 6-sided die, super simple system. It looks a little wonky when you're looking at the character sheet. You're like, none of this makes sense. And you read through the rules, you're like, oh, totally makes sense. And really quick and easy to pick up. Don't get turned off by the character sheet that until you read the rules makes no sense. So, Unbound, it can run anything as long as it fights, and all the best stories have fights. So there. Worldwide Wrestling 2nd edition. I love wrestling games. So that is, and this ends in 2 days. It's not a whole lot of money, and you get some actually really good stuff. You get stuff that's not actually the outgunned PDFs are available, but the books aren't. The physical books haven't been sent out yet, even to the backers. But I mean, it literally just finished on Kickstarter like 2 months ago. So they were ready to go with their product, and so ready that they've got it in a cool end of the year roundup for people to pick up. And $31 gets you some really cool stuff. So thank you all for tuning in. It has been fun, and we've got some cool stuff. We got Sealed City of Brass that I need to see if I can trade up. Got some cool stuff for Vast Grim, and probably one of the niftiest limited edition things that we've gotten out of anything in a while. So, if you are a game producer out there and you want to chat with us, reach out. My email is david@alexandriarpg.org. Or if you have books that you want to donate or you want to help us out, you can reach out to me there, or you can go to our website, alexandriarpg.org. Any assistance is much appreciated. It helps us get to events. It helps us continue to curate the library and get the individual collections, because we curate collections specifically for events. And next year is going to be kind of bonkers. So thank you all for tuning in. Please help us out if you can. Till next time, the library is now closed.